Hi, good morning, viewers. This is Kiran Kumar Velamula, Assistant Professor of Physics, Sri Raja Rajeshwara Degree College, Karimnagar. Today's video lesson we are discussing about the principle of increase of entropy, entropy in the universe and entropy and disorder. Initially we are taking principle of increase of entropy. Already in the previous lesson we discussed about the increase of entropy. If the temperature increases, the entropy also increases. Some cases the change in entropy may be zero or greater than zero. Already we discussed as a reversible process as well as irreversible process. Here principle of increase of entropy, it is defined as the entropy is isolated system or self-contained, either increased or remains constant according to the process it undergoes, is irreversible or reversible. That means it is always increasing from arbitrary constant to zero. In the case of a reversible process, the change in entropy is zero. In the irreversible process, it is greater than zero, or it is said to be as positive. So that is mathematically represented as ds is greater than or equal to zero. Here ds represents change in entropy. So if you take greater than zero, that is in the case of irreversible process, the value of the entropy is greater than zero. So if you take equal, in the case of reversible process, ds is equal to zero means the change in entropy is zero. Neither is increasing or decreasing, therefore it is constant. So in order to explain the combination of irreversible and reversible, we are representing the notation as ds is greater than or equal to zero. The principle of degradation of energy, the available energy of the entropy in the universe is tending to zero. It is not exactly zero, but it approaches to zero. Therefore, this principle is said to be principle of degradation of energy. Entropy and disorder. What is the disorder here? The entropy is the physical property of a thermodynamical system, like temperature, volume, and pressure. Here, disorder means the arrangement of the molecules in the total thermodynamical system represents either order or disorder. Suppose if you take the solid system, all the molecules are arranged in the regular manner with more attractive force between the molecules in a particular shape. Therefore, the solid material gains its actual state here. Instead of a solid, if you take liquids, what happens in the liquids? The attractive forces between the molecules are less compared to solids. They are moving randomly in a substance. So therefore, there is a lot of distance between the molecule and molecule. So this is nothing but the disorderness of the molecule in the substance. When temperature is given to the material, the randomness is increasing. They are moving more randomly compared to the solids. Therefore, the entropy is increasing. Similarly, if you take gas is assumed as a thermodynamical system. When the temperature of the gas is increasing, the kinetic energy of the molecules are also increasing here. Due to the molecule kinetic energy increases, the heat energy also increases, so the entropy also increases. That means the relation between the entropy and the temperature is directly proportional to each other. The same thing is given by Boltzmann. So Boltzmann explained the relation between entropy and disorderliness parameter of the matter. So according to Boltzmann equation, mathematically the entropy is given as S is equals to K log W. That means S is equals to log of base 10 here into W. So K is Boltzmann constant, S is the entropy of the system, and W is the desired parameter, which is thermodynamical probability of existence of the system in the given system. So entropy is universe. And how the entropy is changing in the universe we are explaining here. In the universe, the entropy is constant in the reversible process, but the value of the entropy is increasing gradually mathematically in the case of irreversible process. So we are explaining different cases for this. First one is free expansion, and the second one is ferromagnetic to paramagnetic transition, and the third one is heat conduction. If we take free expansion, what is free expansion? When the thermodynamical temperature is increasing but the heat is constant. Heat is constant means that system must be an adiabatic system. There is no transformation of heat energy from the system to the surrounding to the system. Then the temperature is also constant in this case. The temperature as well as the heat energy is constant in the free expansion. In that case, the entropy is change in the entropy is zero. The change in the entropy is zero means entropy is constant. So in this case, the entropy in the inverse is constant, or the change in entropy in the inverse is treated as constant value. Now the second explanation is ferromagnetic to paramagnetic transitions. Before this, we must know what is Curie temperature. Curie is the name of the scientist. He gave a definition. At a particular temperature at which the ferromagnetic material is converting into paramagnetic material, then that temperature is known as Curie temperature, because when the temperature is given to the material, then it loses its magnetic property. So according to thermodynamics, it loses its magnetic property means the disorderliness is increasing. Because in the ferromagnetic, they are aligned in the form of domains, but when the temperature is given to that one, the magnetic moments are changing in random motion. The disorderliness is increasing gradually. Slowly, the magnetic property decreasing gradually. When it attains a Curie temperature point, the ferromagnetic material converts into paramagnetic material. So this is known as ferromagnetic to paramagnetic transition. In the case of ferromagnetic to paramagnetic transition, the disorderliness is increasing due to the increasing temperature, therefore entropy is increasing. Similarly, if we assume in the case of heat conduction, we are assuming a Bohr. extend to the second end. Let us consider T1 be the temperature at the first end and T2 be the temperature at the second end. In this case, the heat is transferring from first end to the second end. In this case, SF minus SI or ST2 minus T1 is equals to 0. So here, SF minus SI is nothing but the change in temperature. Here, this entropy SF minus SI gives the change in entropy due to the temperature variation. This change in entropy is equals to Q by T1 for hotter reservoir, or in the first case it is assumed as is equals to Q T2 for a cold air reservoir at the second end. So here now if you calculate the change in entropy Q T by T2 minus Q T1, so this is always is equal to 0, therefore it is constant in this case. Now we are discussing about temperature entropy diagram. On the x-axis we are taking the change in temperature and we are taking on x-axis we are taking change in entropy, and on y-axis if we take change in absolute temperature, then the graph is known as temperature entropy diagram. In this, the horizontal two lines represents T1 and T2 are isothermal process. The A line and B line are parallel to each other. These two vertical lines are represented as adiabatic process. Here Q1 is heat input, Q2 is heat output. The area represented in A, B, C, D or D, C, E, F is known as work outputs, because here temperature is taken on y-axis, entropy is taken on x-axis. The area, this is in the form of rectangular shape. The area of ABCD gives the rectangle of ABCD. This area gives the work. Area formula is length into breadth here. So here this is entropy into temperature. Entropy is nothing but heat energy by temperature into temperature. Temperature gets cancels out. Therefore we are getting Q. But Q is converting into mechanical work. So the area represents the output work is nothing but the heat energy converts into mechanical work. This is the concept of thermodynamic temperature and first law of thermodynamics. Then finally we are getting the work only. From that we are calculating the efficiency of heat engine. So this is nothing but another form of PV diagram of Carnot engine here. AB and the CD represents isothermal processes, and AD and BC represents adiabatic processes. One is expansion, one is contraction. So here adiabatic expansion, adiabatic contraction. So this is cyclic process only. Now we are calculating the entropy using this temperature entropy diagram. For the purpose we are assuming a Carnot cycle consists of two isothermal processes and two adiabatic processes. Already we explained in the graph. Here the amount of heat energy absorbed in the isothermal expansion is ADEF in the graph. In a similar way, the rejected, that means outputs heat energy and the area is given by DCEF. Total heat observed is equals to area ABEF from the graph T1 into S2 minus S1. Actually this is, so heat energy converted into work, heat observed minus heat rejected give the work done. So area ABEF minus area DCEF is equals to area of ABCD. Thus the area of cycle in TS diagram represents available energy. The efficiency is equals to the heat energy converted into work by total heat absorbed. As we discussed in the corner region, efficiency is equals to W by Q1. So we are substituting the value from the graphical method. T1 minus T2 into S2 minus S1 by T1 into S2 minus S1. Here S2 minus S1 by S2 minus S1 cancels out here. The remaining term is in this expression T1 minus T2 by T1, or can be represented as 1 minus T2 by T1. So this is the final efficiency expression by using TS diagram also. The efficiency of this equation is similar to the efficiency of the PV diagram in the Carnot cycle, both are same. But here this can be reduced by using temperature versus entropy diagram. In the case we are assuming it as pressure versus volume in the case of Carnot engine also. Here also we are deriving the mathematical expression for the efficiency of heat engine in the cycling process by using temperature and entropy diagram. So this is very important concept for this question. Thank you.